So there are 3 types of karmas, more or less, okay, for easy understanding. And it plays a part in the Jyotisha, and it's relevant to the question of how your birth chart affects you. Okay. So first is there's one part of the karma that is drira. Drira means fixed. Okay. Certain combinations can indicate in certain individuals, it may not be in everybody, that some karma is fixed. Fixed karma means you just have to bear with it. You can't do anything about it. It cannot be changed. You will have to face it. Nobody in the world can change it. Then there is some part of the karmas which are drira adrira, which means that fixed and unfixed. Which means basically, fundamentally, it translates to this, that if you do some kind of upaya pariharam means some specific mantras or some puja, etc., depending on the horoscope, there is a chance that part of it will be negated, and maybe certain, say, intensity was coming at 10, it comes down to 3 or 2 or something. It's more bearable. Okay. And then the third is the adrira, which is not fixed. Not fixed karmas are just showing a tendency. They're very easy to change. You don't need to chant or do any ritual. All you need is a strong mind. You just want the willpower. Using a willpower, you can change it. So these are 3 types of karmas that will reflect in a horoscope.
I've been advised not to understand the laws of karmas that deeply.
Okay.
By Gauranga Das Prabhu. He was on the show last week.
Okay.
And when I kept deep diving into questions related to karma, he said, don't try understanding it fully. He spoke about these things. He spoke about prarabdha karma and all those aspects as well. But he's like, in the Gita, there's a part that says karma is such a complex subject to understand that you'll go crazy if you try understanding those.
I have a different perspective of this. So what I think that aspect is, so karmana gahana gati, there's a particular phrase in the Gita. So currents of karma are very deep. Yes, that is true to the extent that if you want to find out that I am sitting here and I suddenly have a headache, what is the karmic reason for me to get a headache? You will not find that reason. Because there might have been something. But what I am talking about is something that is very fundamental to understanding Jyotish. Okay, there's nothing, the way I look at it. So these 3, if you don't understand, you will not understand that why is it that certain things can be changed and certain things cannot be changed. And I just remembered, I think I had read one of those cartoon strips long back. I used to read Kelvin and Hobbes, and he makes this wonderful statement. I forgot that, God give me the strength to what cannot be changed, that you enjoy it, or something like that. It's a very fantastic line that was there. So there are certain aspects which you can't change in certain individuals. Okay, there are certain combinations. And I've seen that in the course of when I have done readings and all that. These days I do very less, but when I've done them, so that nobody can change. It doesn't matter. You can go to all the temples in the world, go to every single spiritual person in the world, every person, jayega hi nahi, hoga hi nahi.
If you're only meant to live for 39 years of your life, you'll die at age 39. That's one example of something like this.
Let's say sort of, it depends. It's not that simple.
Okay.
There are certain combinations of grahas which, if present, and I'll not go into details of that, because the problem with astrology though is that right about when you start combinations, everybody opens their chart first thing. Okay, that's the last thing you should do, because you will never be objective when you are doing your own analysis. You have to learn from other people. Okay, people with whom you have no emotional connect. That will give you the lesson. Anyway, so certain combinations are there which, if present, it indicates that it's very fixed karma.
Can you give an example of a karma which can be changed through willpower?
So many things. For example, I'm growing fat. I need to become thin. All right, start exercising, eat less, fast. Willpower is acting. See, in the yogic format, as I was just telling you, there's the physical body, there is the vital plane, where there's the astral body, there's the mind. A perfectly working yogi is one where the mind controls the vital, your emotional, and the emotions and the vital body controls your physical body. But for people, what happens? Just the ulta. Mind has no control. So emotions that control A to Z. I feel like eating, I feel like going out with my friends, I feel like enjoying, etc. That's all your emotional talk. Okay.
And that's the goal of yoga, to have complete control over your mind.
Yes. And do you know what is the, in another aspect, another way of looking at it, this vital power that is there. Who is the greatest representative of this vital force? Hanumanji. What does he do? Initially, when he's jumping over the ocean, he doesn't know what powers he has. Then he's told, then he gets it. Okay. And he sublimates it whole to the feet of Lord Rama. So, basically, the vital has tremendous power. but it should not make its own judgment. It puts itself into something higher. In this case, say the mind, or in the case of Lord Hanuman, he puts it to Rama. Okay, so the moment that is done, basically the idea is that don't let your emotions make the judgment. Okay, emotions are a tremendous force. Nothing in this world can happen without emotions. But if you allow it to be your master, then it is a terrible master. Its role is that it should be in control of the mind, because the mind is objective. But that rarely happens in humanity.
As in, the mind should be able to control the emotions and not
Yes,
the other way
mind should
around.
give an order. And the emotions should follow. But that's very difficult to achieve. That is if you already achieve that, then everybody will fall at your feet. You are already a saint.
Have you achieved?
Oh no, forget me. I am just an ordinary person. Okay. I am just ordinary person. That's all.
I probably have spoken to 2 or 3 people on this show who I believe have come close to it. I'm not going to take names, but like of everyone I've spoken. And these are obviously like spiritually inclined people who I think may have come a little close to it.
Possible.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of spiritual people, so
It's the goal of yoga. Union between...
that's one goal of yoga. Let's put it this way. Because everything is, the more you look, the more you see that there are things.